Happy Saturday night, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me for tonight's yoga class. Kind of had a change of schedule on the live. I thought it would be fun to do a Saturday evening class, so here we are. If you don't know me, my name is Colleen. I'm with Shine On Yoga. Chai Cat is running around here also, and occasionally we have a few pups that like to come and join. You don't need to be an experienced yogi. This is completely beginner friendly. You don't need any props, but if you'd like to use some, I recommend blocks, bolsters, and blankets. Today we do have kind of a beginner friendly class. We are going to work on opening our hips a lot, and we're going to do just a really simple flow. Here comes Chai. All right, we're going to get started lying down on our backs. So go ahead and find the center of your mat. You can roll your spine down. Feet can be on the floor for now. Knees bent. And from here, go ahead and walk your feet together, pressing arch to arch. And once your feet are together, we're going to go ahead and let our knees fall open to either side of our mat, opening up through our hips. Now, your knees don't have to go as low as mine are. If you have blocks, you can place blocks underneath your knees to bring the ground up to you. Or if you don't have blocks, just move your feet away from the center of your body. You can find your best reclined cobbler's pose. Snuggle those shoulder blades beneath the heart space. Your hands can be resting on your thighs or on your belly, on your heart space, or open at your sides, whatever feels good to you. And finally, if it feels safe in your body, you can close down the eyes. If not, just soften the gaze. We're going to take a few moments here just to breathe, to let go of the day, the week, and just settle our bodies down a little bit before we move into the practice. Keep breathing. Let's take one more big inhale together. And exhale, sigh it out. Go ahead and return to breathing normally. If your eyes are closed, you can open them back up to the room around you. We'll go ahead and set the soles of our feet back onto our mat. And then take a moment here to bring your knees in towards your chest. Give yourself a little hug. You don't have to lift your head or neck up. They can just stay on your mat. Take a moment here to breathe. You can rock back and forth if you would like, if that feels good in your body. From here, you can keep your hands wrapped around your shins, or you can bring them behind your kneecaps. We're just going to rock back and forth a few times on our spine. You might feel some pops. You might hear some clicks. But we're just going to rock back and forth a few times. And once you feel good there, go ahead and come up to a nice comfortable seat, sitting up nice and tall. I'm going to turn to face you. Take a breath here, just kind of settle your body. When you're ready, we're going to take our left hand and place it on our right knee. Our right fingers are going to spin around behind us. On an inhale, sit up nice and straight and tall. On the exhale, go ahead and twist over towards the right. Look over towards the right side of your mat. Inhale, maybe you sit up a little bit taller. Exhale, maybe you twist a little bit further. Make sure you're not using your left hand to pull yourself into the pose. It's just there for support. Take some nice big inhales and exhales here. Let's take one more big inhale. And on the exhale, we'll return to center. Take a breath here, see how you feel. Compare both sides. All right, we're going to go ahead and go over to the other side. So right hand to left knee, left fingers are going to swing around behind us. Inhale, we'll sit up nice and straight and tall. On the exhale, we'll journey into the twist. Inhale, maybe you sit up a little taller. Exhale, maybe you twist a little bit further. We'll breathe here. Let's take one more big inhale. And then exhale, we'll return to center. Take a breath. All right. When you are ready, we're going to transition to all fours to a nice tabletop position. Once you're there, make sure your knees are underneath your hips, your hands are underneath your shoulders, back nice and straight, neck in line with the spine. And we're going to warm up the spine just with some spinal flexion. If you know cat-cow, you can take it away. If you don't, what we're going to do is as we inhale, we're going to drop those lower ribs. We're going to lift our tail, lift our head, look forward. You're going to feel a nice big stretch in the front body. Breathe here. And on your exhale, we're going to round through the spine, tuck the chin, tuck the tail, really press away from the mat. You're going to feel a nice big stretch through the back body as we move into cat pose. Inhale, we'll reverse it, dropping it back down into that cow pose, feeling that nice stretch. Exhale, press away as we come into cat. Go ahead and do one more round on your own inhales and exhales. And after that cat pose, go ahead and bring it back to a nice tabletop position. Take a breath here, see how you feel. And when you're ready, we're going to move into a puppy pose. So as we move into this pose, think about when puppies play with each other. They kind of dip down and they stick their butts in the air. We're going to do the exact same thing, basically. So go ahead and look at your hands. We're going to place our elbows where our hands were and move our hands forward. Excuse me. So you're going to be looking down at a number 11 with your hands, still on your knees. From here, we're going to walk our knees back as we melt our head and our heart towards the mat. Now, you don't have to come all the way down to the mat. Go as far as it feels good in your body. Toes can be tucked or untucked, completely up to you. If you are able to melt your forehead to the mat, just take a moment here to breathe. You're going to feel a nice big stretch through your chest, through your armpits, and through your back. Nice big inhales and exhales here. One more big inhale. As we exhale, go ahead and look forward at those hands. And From here, we're going to go ahead and just slide all the way through until we're on our bellies. Lift your chest up. Nice big stretch here as we move into a Sphinx pose. You can press the tops of your feet into the mat. Really opening up through the chest. This is a nice big chest stretch. Keep breathing. If you find that your shoulders are creeping up towards your ears and you're collapsing, pull those shoulder blades back and down. Really lift that part up and forward. On an exhale, go ahead and let it go. You can press yourself back up to all fours. Walk those knees back in. And from here, take your knees as wide as the mat. Let your big toes touch. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, we're going to sink our hips back towards our heels. Walk those fingers forward. Let your head and your heart melt towards the mat as we move into an extended child's pose. Take some nice big inhales and exhales here. We're going to start moving after this. So rest up. One more big inhale and exhale. And after that exhale, we'll go ahead and walk it back up. Go ahead and bring your knees back in line with your hip points. If your hands are underneath your shoulders, go ahead and walk them one shoulder print in front of where they were. From here, we're going to tuck our toes under, take a nice big inhale. On your exhale, we're going to lift those knees up off the mat, straighten through the legs, press back through the heels as we move into a downward facing dog pose. Now, if you'd like to take your dog for a walk, you can, bending one knee and then the other. You're going to feel a nice big calf stretch here. If you're walking your dog, or you can just be in stillness, really pressing away from the mat. It's okay if those heels don't touch. I'm just going to breathe. Now when you're ready, we're going to plant that left foot into the mat. Make sure it's not moving. On an inhale, we're going to lift our right foot up off the mat. Keep your toes dialed down, leg in line with the hip. Inhale. As we exhale, we're going to bend that knee in towards our chest. Shift forward, look forward, and then we're going to step that right foot up in between our palms, right between our hands. You can lower onto that left knee. Toes can be tucked or untucked. And then we're going to lift up. We're coming into a nice low lunge here. Again, if this gives you any trouble, you can use blocks to bring the floor up to you. If you don't have blocks, then just don't sink down as far. You can come up a little bit higher. Now for everyone, you're going to want to pull this right hip crease back, left hip crease forward. When you look down, you should be able to see your big toe. You want to keep your chest nice and lifted. We don't want to be rounding over our knee. So nice and lifted through the chest. So go ahead, play with that, get into your best low lunge position here, and we'll take a few breaths. From here, take your left palm, go ahead and place it flat on the mat beside your right arch. We're going to take our left hand and we're going to, our right hand, we're going to spiral it up towards the ceiling and we're going to twist in towards our right leg here. You can look up at your hand, you can look down at your other hand, really open up through the chest, breathe. Keep pulling that right hip crease back. And on your next exhale, we'll float that right hand down, frame your right foot once again. Look forward, take a breath. And on the exhale, we're going to shift our hips back, walk those fingers back, peel that right foot up off the mat as we move into a little hamstring stretch. If you're using blocks, the blocks can come with you. If you can't get the leg completely straight, that's okay. Move towards your own personal mobility. You don't want to force it. Forcing it causes injury. Keep pulling that right hip crease back. Keep breathing. Try and keep length in the spine. One more breath here. And as we exhale, go ahead and walk those hands forward. Rebend through the right foot. We're going to plant our palms. Tuck that left foot, those toes under. Lift the left knee up off the mat. And we're going to step our right foot back to meet the left as we come back into another downward facing dog. Once you reach your downward facing dog, you can take your dog for a walk, or you can just take a moment in stillness to breathe, to reset. Listen to what your body wants tonight. If you feel pain in your wrist in this position, press into your thumb, your pointer, and your middle finger, and that will help to alleviate some of that pressure. Let's take one more breath here. Sigh it out. When you're ready, we'll plant that right foot onto the mat. We'll lift those left toes up off the other side of the mat. Toes dialed down. Leg in line with the hips. Inhale. Exhale. We'll shift it forward, knee to nose, or towards your chest. And then we'll step that left foot in between our palms. Go ahead and lower onto that right knee. You might need to walk it back or adjust it, depending on your body. So just pay attention. Toes can be tucked or untucked. Make sure you have length in your spine. We don't want to be collapsing. Make sure you can see your big toe, 90-degree angle. Just make sure you're set up. We're going to pull the left hip crease back this time, right hip crease forward. Take a few breaths here. When you're ready, we'll go ahead and flatten our right palm. We'll lift our left hand up towards the sky, spinning towards that left leg, coming into a nice little twist here. Keep that chest open. Breathe. One more big inhale. Exhale, lower that left hand towards the mat. Take a breath here, look forward, and then we'll slowly start to shift our hips back, walking our hands back, peeling that left foot up off the mat, feeling a nice hamstring stretch on the opposite side. Keep pulling that left hip crease back, right hip crease forward. Look forward, lengthen the spine. After your next exhale, we'll go ahead and walk it back forward. Rebend through that left knee. We'll tuck our right toes under. Lift that right knee up off the mat. I keep wanting to say right knees. And then from here, we're going to bend that right knee, maybe shift forward and back a little bit, and we're going to step our right foot up to meet our left. We're coming into a forward fold. I'm going to walk back here a little bit. So keep your knees bent slightly here. On your next inhale, we're going to rise up halfway. Keep your hands on your shins, nice flat back here. Take a breath in. And on your exhale, let it all go. Come into your forward fold. Now, if this, again, is causing any issues in your body, you can grab blocks and use the blocks to bring the floor up to you. You can play with the different levels. If you don't have blocks, bend your knees as generously as you'd like until it feels good in your body. If you want to play with straightening those legs, you can come up to fingertips. You can also keep your hands on your body wherever you're at today. So just listen to your body. For those of you that are a little bit more flexible in your body today, you can always grab onto opposite elbows and hang a little bit further. Wherever you're at, make sure you're not locking out those knees. You want a slight bend in them. Take some nice big inhales and exhales wherever you're at in your forward fold. One more big inhale here. And exhale, we're going to slowly start to rise all the way up until we come into a nice standing position. Once you're in that standing position, shake it all out. Shake out the legs, shake out the hands. You can adjust your clothing if you need to. Fix your hair, do whatever you need to do, because we're going to move into stillness, and we don't want to be fidgeting around as we move into stillness. So from here, we're going to step our feet wide. They don't have to be super wide. We're not doing the splits or anything like that. So you might have to play with it. You might have to shorten your stance. You might need to widen your stance. Pay attention to your body as you get into it. Listen to your body. You can point your toes in a little bit. You can turn them out a little bit. Again, just depending on your body. I'm going to start out with my toes pointing straight for now, though. On an inhale, go ahead and just stand up nice and straight and tall. Roll those shoulders back, chest nice and open. Your hands can be on your hips like mine are. Take an inhale. And then as we exhale, we're going to start to fold forward, but we're going to keep our back as straight as possible. Imagine you're looking out into a little pond right in front of you. So we're just going to tip back. And then maybe hold once you're halfway there. I'm going to turn to the side so you can see me here. So maybe you hold here. We'll take an inhale. And then exhale, maybe you want to continue the journey all the way down towards the floor into a wide-legged forward fold. I'm going to go ahead and turn back to my front-facing side here. Now again, blocks can be your friend here if this pose is not for you today. There's all different levels. If you don't have blocks, again, you can be up on fingertips. You can play with really engaging your core, coming up halfway. You're really going to be pressing into those arches of your feet, really engaging those inner thighs as you're in this pose. So play with the level that you're at today. Make any adjustments you need. If you need to widen your stance or shorten your stance, if you want to turn those toes in or turn them out. If you are able to get your hands to the mat, you might want to walk them back in towards the arches of your feet and work to bring your head towards the mat. Wherever you're at, take a moment here just to breathe. Feel any stress just rolling down your back, onto the mat, into the earth, and away. Let's take one more big inhale here. Exhale, sigh it out, let it all go. When you're ready, we're going to come back out the way we went in. So I'm just going to bring one hand to my waist, the other hand to my waist. I'm going to squeeze in through my inner thighs here, and keeping a straight back, I'm going to rise back up. You really have to engage your core here and your legs. Whew. You might want to heel toe your feet in a little bit. Take a moment here just to breathe. Feel that rush of energy as you stand back up. When you're ready, let's go ahead and walk the feet back together. We're going to come back up to the top of our mat. We're going to start making our way back down. We're going to slow everything back down. From here, you can start to bend your knees, sink back, lift those heels up. You put a hand down, another hand down. Walk your hands back. You're back to your seated position. If that's not a good way for you to get down to the mat, then go ahead and get down to the mat any way that you feel is good for you. Thank you so much for the hearts. I appreciate it. All right, we are going to lie back down, which is awesome. So go ahead and take a moment to lie back down, feet on the mat. Take a breath here, just resettle your body. When you're ready, let's stretch our left leg out. We're going to bring our right knee in towards our chest, give it a nice little squeeze here. Take a few breaths. And when you're ready, we're going to take this right knee and we're going to cross it over our midline towards the left. Try and keep your right shoulder blade on the mat. We're going to stretch our right hand out and away from us. We're going to look over at our right hand as we come into another little twist. Take a moment here to breathe. One more big inhale. Exhale, we'll return to center. Give that right leg another little squeeze just for good measure. And then we'll let that right leg stretch out long and away. We're going to switch our legs. Bring your left knee in towards your chest. Take a moment here to breathe. And then when you're ready, we're going to cross that left leg across the midline towards the right. Stretch your left hand out long and away. Look over at that left hand. Take a moment here to breathe in that twist. It may be different from the other side, and that's okay. It changes from day to day, from side to side. Just notice it and know that you're working towards evening those sides out. One more big inhale. Exhale, we'll return back to center. Give that left knee another little squeeze. And then we'll set the left foot onto the mat, right foot onto the mat. Go ahead and make sure your back is nice and flush with the mat. So you might need to lift your hips up and lower your tailbone back down onto the mat. Snuggle those shoulder blades beneath your heart center. You want your chest nice and lifted. Hands can be at your side. From here, we're going to walk the feet up towards our glutes. You might be able to touch your feet with your hands there. And your feet can be super together if you'd like. I like to take mine a little bit wider, so slightly outside of my hip width. It feels more comfortable in my body. Again, play with it. See how it feels for you and your body. It may be different. On our next inhale, we're going to slowly start to lift our glutes up off the mat as we roll up vertebrae by vertebrae. I cannot even talk right now. As we move into our bridge pose here. So we're really going to press in with our heels, lift those glutes up off the mat. You're going to bring your chest to your chin to the sky. We want to keep length in the neck, and we're going to breathe here. We hold our bridge, strengthening our legs, strengthening our glutes, strengthening our entire body. One more big inhale here. Exhale, we're going to slowly roll it all the way back down. See if you can feel that in each part of your spine as you're rolling everything back down. And once you're there, take a breath, sigh it out, let it go. All right, I have one more big hip opening pose for you. We're going to move through it slowly, and then we're going to take a moment to breathe in it, and then we'll move into our final resting posture, which is Shavasana. So I'm going to show you one leg at a time. So to start, we're just going to bring our right knee in. Now, if you're able to, you can grab the outer edge of your foot. If you're not able to grab the outer edge of your foot, you can grab your ankle, your calf, maybe your pant leg, or just the back of your thigh. So it's going to, again, depend on your body. Listen to your body. So once you have whatever area of this right side that you're grabbing onto, we're going to kick that right foot up towards the sky, pulling that left hip down. This is a half happy baby. We're going to do the same thing on the other side, and then we're going to do it together. All right, so we played with our right side. Go ahead and play with your left side. So see where it feels good to grab on that left side, if it's the outer edge of the foot, the ankle, the calf, the pant leg, wherever that is. And then once you find that, you can kick that left foot up towards the sky. And you're going to feel a nice big stretch in your hips, in your hamstrings. Take a couple breaths here. And when you're ready, you can let that go. We're going to go ahead and do both legs, and we're going to stay in that position. So go ahead and find where you're grabbing your feet, ankles, calves, thighs, wherever. When you're ready, we're going to kick the soles of our feet up towards the sky. Lengthen your tailbone down towards the mat, and we're going to breathe here. One more big inhale. Exhale, we're going to let it go. Let your feet go. Stretch your feet out long and away. Let your hands move out away from your body. Take up space. We are moving into our final resting posture, which is Shavasana, or the corpse pose. So if you like to use props for your Shavasana, go ahead and get set up for that. Otherwise, you don't necessarily, again, need any props. If you'd like, you can close down the eyes or just soften your gaze. And we're going to take a moment here just to reflect on our practice, to feel into our bodies, and just to express gratitude to ourselves, our body, and our practice. I am going to go quiet for a moment, just to allow you space to reflect, but know that I am here, I'm holding space for you, and I'll come get you when the time comes. If you'd like to stay in Shavasana, then stay as long as time allows. If you need to continue on with your evening, then go ahead and slowly start to deepen your breaths. Begin to wiggle fingers and toes, bringing some life back into them, some movement. When you feel ready, go ahead and place one foot on the mat and then the other foot, keeping the knees bent for just a moment. From there, I invite you to roll to your favorite side, move into a little fetal position, and stay there for just a few moments, taking a few inhales and exhales, just as you reintegrate into the room around you. Finally, whenever you feel ready, go ahead and return to a nice, comfortable seat of your choice. Please bring your head and neck up last. If your eyes are still closed, you can blink them open to the room around you. So I want to thank you so much for joining me this evening for this yoga practice. I hope you found it beneficial. I hope you feel more calm and stretched out and ready to tackle next week. For those of you on the live, I do this every week. This is the first time I'm doing a Saturday evening. I like it, so as my schedule allows, I'll probably try and come back on Saturdays. You can follow my page, and I try and let people know when I'm doing these classes. I also have a YouTube page where all of these classes are stored. So if you came in towards the middle of it and you want to practice from the beginning, then I will have that uploaded next week for you. So you can subscribe to my channel. It's Shine On Yoga LLC on YouTube. And I believe the link is in my bio here on TikTok. For those of you watching this replay on YouTube, thank you so much for joining me. Know that you're not practicing by yourself, you're practicing with others. I don't know if you guys can hear that is Franco and Fritz are whining. They want to eat dinner. So we are going to go and get everyone fed because I think everyone is hungry. Are you hungry? Yeah? I know Franco's hungry. He's not going to whine now. All right. Well, I plan on being back next week. I hope you guys have a great week next week. And I will talk to you later. Namaste. All right. Let's say bye.